Alright, so last stream we placed a few fundamental pieces on the leg. We adjusted the silhouette of the leg as well. Um, Today we're going to continue the placement of those fundamental parts, hopefully placing some of the cabling as well. And yeah, I mean, you can see the leg is very layered. And when you have things like that, stuff that is very layered, it's a lot of like object placement, which can take a lot of time. So that's normal. It doesn't take time when you sculpt in one piece like that for the concept, but when you split them all apart and stuff, it's there's a lot of labor, let's just say. So yep, that's what we'll be doing. Let's remove all the arms. I might even remove the top of the body at some point, because it's not like if we necessarily need it at the moment. We keep on the left side of the screen the reference of the upper body, just in as a matter of like reference of style and that sort of stuff. Also just a some visual aid. So everything that's red right now is stuff that is not like final. So I've placed all of those fundamental parts right away because we're gonna work around them. And now I'm just making sure that the joint placement and everything is makes sense. Something I could have done much earlier, but I know that I can cheat it a little bit without it being a problem, so yeah. Evgelandsk, you're the best. Hugs. Thank you. Much appreciated. So for the side of the knee here, we're not going to be placing one of those big like cylindrical stuff. We're going to keep it as like a pretty clean shape. Maybe we were going to go grab one of our IMMs from up there for the all of the like the modules sticking out. But first, let's just make sure that these are like placed as well as they can be. Also, I'm gonna have to round the top part and possibly the sides as well. Not sure how much I want to. In the concept, they're the same gray as the rest of the body here. I'm wondering if I'm going to keep that. Probably. And to round the body, I think I'm just gonna add add an IMM, that's it. So right now they don't have any subdivision level because I mirror and welded the thing, so it's like fully in the center of the gizmo. And yeah, we're just gonna place like a cylindrical IMM on top. Make sure we're smack in the middle, which feels like we're not. What if I mirror and weld this again? Oops. in the proper angle. Oh, right, okay. It was not perfectly mirrored to the gizmo. I don't remember moving the gizmo, actually. Weird. Well, now we are on the smack middle, so it's fine. We have two objects here now, which is not supposed to be two objects, so we're going to get rid of one. Let's mirror and weld again. Actually, let's get rid of the other one, the other side. There we go. So I created this shape from the other one, so they have the same gizmo. And this is what we're going to be using to make sure everything is like smack in the middle of everything. I really, really, really wish that there was two gizmo, one for like manipulation and one that just keeps the like information of the orientation of the mesh. That would be pretty cool if they had that. Okay, I'm gonna start to push things a little bit because it's distracting. What's my layer about? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna add some resolution here. There we go. Now we can subdivide, start to sculpt. So I'm not going to be able to use my clip brush because I'm using dynamic symmetry. See, it's like, doesn't work. So we're going to try to use any other brush, well, any brush that's compatible with that dynamic symmetry mode, which is, there's some. Hey, Polybits, thank you for the raid. It's pretty cool. Hey everyone. Hey Bo Smart. So we're gonna use only sculpting tricks to sculpt these like hard surface parts, which is a bit funky, but it works. Also, let's lower this here. Polybits, your sculpts are always awesome. Thank you. Where can I access your tutorials? So anybody that needs any like tools or tutorials or anything that like we provide at the bottom of the screen, you have a link. Well, you have two. Any of the one will lead you to the tutorials we have and whatnot. So be our guests. We're going to reduce the masking. We're going to play with the mask options to get what we need. I was just blurring and sharpening the mask right there, only to get the line to be a little bit more like straight. So just by playing with the mask types and stuff and moving things around, you can get those like changes in the profile and everything, which is pretty cool, in my opinion. Now I'm gonna go and grab my alphas like usual. Vinny Sculpt, hey Marco, hello to you. It's a bit intense. That should be good. Oh, that's the little clippy thing right there. And a little bit bigger. Should be all right. And now I'm just gonna add something to looks like, because I don't like when two meshes are like interpenetrating. So by creating like a cavity on the side like this, you get a little bit less of like that feeling that things are not like clipping each other correctly. So once again, orb crack for those very sharp edges. Very good. I'm gonna add a little detail here since there's like already a segment that's sticking out. Like this. There you go. And on this mesh, I can't add really much because there's not, the resolution doesn't like permit it. I'm gonna see if we can't add like this little thing here. Maybe bigger, but less intense. No, we're gonna let it breathe a little bit. Felt like a lot. Or actually, you know what? Now we're gonna lose a lot of resolution doing this, but I'm wondering if it should actually come to here. And get kind of like chopped, like Jess, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Had to subdivide it because the resolution was not good enough. And maybe more like this. There we go. That feels good. Oh, wait. It's not even straight. There we go, like this. Alright, that should be good. Can we do something here? Like if we inflate or grow. Okay. I might try to place like one or two details here just so that like this portion of the mesh is not so bare. Okay. And now I'll merge these pieces. And once again, weird thing, I might lose my gizmo if like I keep my subdivision levels. So I'm actually going to merge without the subdivision levels. Do I have layers? No layers, so I can merge. Boom. So now it keeps the gizmo at the right place. Weird stuff, but it is what it is. Before I do anything else, well, actually, you know what? Let's reconstruct subdivision. Oh, I can't. Okay, well, it's a small piece. It's okay that I don't have this much subdivisions, but I do want to have a polypane that's different in some areas because I want to be able to call to like split it later into like another material for the renders. I'm gonna use depth mask to go in this area here without drawing on the other one. And we're gonna do another one here. So you see, like when I zoom on this, it's pretty pixelated, but I'm never gonna focus here this much, so I'm not worrying too much about it. All right, perfect. So this piece maybe a bit noisy. We'll see. We'll adjust it later if needed. We have to go and place it over this one here. So this one is kind of like a Wow, I have the word on the tip of my tongue. Placeholder. There you go. Let's duplicate. Let's flip 180 degrees. And I should technically be able to place it flush over the other one. And I think that's as flush as we're going to get. And they're especially flush to this piece here. That's good. That's what we wanted. All right, so at this point, I think what I'm gonna do is do the knee. So we're gonna duplicate this part here. Oh, just checking the chat. 3D Art Expedition. Hi, Marco and chat. Hello, Mark. This cylinder, did you create, or is it an IMM brush kit bash? Which cylinder? If you're talking about the capsule I added on top of this, no, I just started from a capsule and it's just a base tool they give. If you're talking about this entire object, it's an object I created myself, and I'm just like IMMing on in some areas sometimes. So for here, the base object now, I want it to like, don't want it to look like there's like a hole as much as this. So I'm gonna bring stuff back up here. Kind of like that. Okay. And now for the knee. We're gonna add resolution. I think I'm gonna try to work with it with this topology. Actually, you know what? No, before I do all of that, I kind of like need to remove everything. And I want these like circles to be already like oriented with the circles of the knee here. So I want to like taper them because the knee has kind of like a taper shape, and I want this to show. Now the question is, I'm working in like with the gizmo with the dynamic symmetry, so it's going to be pretty hard to. How am I going to do that? Can I use the deformers for this? Also, I'd rather have, I don't know, it would be great to have a. Oops, nope. There we go. be honest, I never remember how the deformers work. Since when I have two, oh, wait. What? Confused why it was showing two objects. It's like the moment I add the deformer, I see. Like I said, I barely use the deformers. Okay, not sure why it's showing two objects. It's very distracting. Also, I'm just trying to do something super simple, and it's kind of like annoying. It's not cool. Okay, well, this is too annoying. I'm actually going to do it by hand. I can't use the clip curve though. That's also annoying when using dynamic symmetry now. So yeah, it's going to be truly by hand. Okay, well, that's the mess we're in. And try to sculpt this object that's supposed to look like manufactured. I'm gonna have to do it by hand. You're gonna see me have like hard edges like that. The reason why I'm having these hard edges, it's really just a matter of like seeing where the apexes of my shapes are. Once I soften them, they're gonna round out anyway. Okay, so wait. So now at this point, if I smooth this object, it should round and keep, like, for example, like I wanted this like flat circular surface around this area. I kind of like tapered things to go in that direction. Now what we want is we just want the edges to not be so hard surface. And by smoothing, the object is going to become rounder. So I'm just going to give it like tip it in the direction it should go. Like this. And now if I smooth it, okay, I still have like a cavity here that it's not, when I smooth it, the cavity then doesn't adjust correctly. So let's just give it a little bit more nudging in the right direction. So you see my object is, you can see it's kind of like spherical. Maybe I want a sharper tip in the front here. There's still like some volume here that I didn't go get. That's a bit better. All right, so now it's round. Let's really round it off. I'm losing a little bit too much of the, let's scale up like this, smooth it out. So you see, it's like I'm not even using H-polish or that sort of stuff. It's really just a matter of like my surfaces like being kind of like aligned correctly. And when I smooth them, well, that's especially for like round surfaces. And when I just like use smooth, I get like that very clean surface. That's indicative of hard surface materials. We're going to put like a metal on it just to see, because I still have like apexes on my curve. You see there's still like an edge here. So this is going to be a matter of like just like smoothing out more precisely. And then when I want the shape to average itself all around, I use smooth relax, which is using smooth but releasing the shift key while moving. So when you sculpt the capsule, yeah, it's just part of like I think the base stuff of ZRemesh now. Just to work at Chaos, do you need experience working for games? Because I'm planning to improve my portfolio and keep applying until I get the job. Well, yes, you need to show that you can do like a retopology and textures for games, that sort of stuff. Our primary clients are video games. Okay, so now I'm gonna just flatten the surface here. I'm gonna try to get more of that shape of the thing that's like under. So like if you look at the left leg, we can see what I'm trying to achieve or get to. So there's like more roundness needed. Maybe I can just like do it by playing with the shape like this. Okay. So if I look at it, like this, one of the questions I'm going to have to ask myself is, do I really want this object to be symmetrical from top to bottom? Because it kind of like has like a water drop shape. So it can be like fully symmetrical. So I'm probably going to remove the symmetry on the z-axis. And try to get that shape. Hmm. Yep, still look good. It's not flush the shape from before, but the shape from before was not like was done really like eyeballed into like being symmetrical. So this one is like fully symmetrical, so that's good. Perfect. All right. That's good. Let's move on. Now I'm going to go and add the little gizmos here. IMMs. Let's grab them from up there. Actually, first let's save. All right. So I'm going to duplicate this just to be able to insert an IMM on top. I'm going to remove its layers. We're going to make the torso appear. Go and grab one of those. This one, let's say. Duplicate, move to correct. Oh, wait, no, I didn't even need to prep this one to have an IMM inserted on because I'm just drag and dropping it from its position here. Removing dynamic symmetry. It took me a while to get used to like keeping or removing dynamic symmetry because it's like a global option. It's not something that's like only for like a subtool. I wish it was only for a subtool, but it's not. So we're just gonna place it on one side and we're gonna use the gizmo and symmetry to place it on the other side after. It's pretty much flush in this angle, so let's not bother. Come on. All right. All right, so now to have it on the other side, we just need to so like we can't mirror and weld because the gizmo is not placed correctly in the center of that piece. So to have the same one, we need to duplicate this one and merge it. So now our object is this. We can get rid of that and then mirror, mirror and weld in the y-axis. Z-axis? Oh, it's dumb. The y-axis is inverted, so there's nothing on its y-axis. What if I turn it 80 degree like that? No, there you go. Okay. So you see now it's like flush the same on both sides. So I'm going to just prep the area a little bit. Well, also I think I placed it incorrectly actually. I just am realizing. So oops. I'll move the other one. This one. A little bit more at the top. All right. Just flattening here so it can get into there better. We're going to smooth on the top here so it rounds off correctly. All right, now just smooth everywhere. We still have like a hint of like a flatness around the object, but it's good. I kind of like want that anyway. We can even smooth it so it shows a little bit more and then smooth with shift, average everything around it, but keep the plane there. There we go. All right. I mean, I could even like go as bold as like using trim hole, for example. It's a very like soft trim hole. And it's a bit more cavity that I want. That's good. That's a little tighter. Very good. Right. So this object didn't have any details. Well, we're not placing details yet. I mean, the IMMs have details already because it was easier to make the details than place the object for it. But this object is an object that I'll be doing the details only when I get when I see everything that's around it. Like for example, this thigh piece is the same deal. I could go and place this IMM on the thigh here, though. That I could do. But see, we have our knee object really well placed and everything. Perfect. Well, now also I can maybe play with this here and see if it would fit better if it's like more inside, move down. I think we're going to do something like that. All right, good. So just to help a little bit go faster, I'm going to create like an actual IMM from this tool because it's gonna take just a little bit too much time if I just do it every time. And at this point, I'll be reusing this very instance of this mesh a lot. So let's just make it an IMM. So I have to place it like somewhat straight. The object is not perfectly straight at its base level. Oops. Remove perspective is going to help me a little bit more. That's decent. All right, so we're going to create insert mesh. Actually, you know what? New. There you go. Perfect. Let's save it. Oh, did I have already one? It's probably a bit different. Let's load it and see. Well, it was more compressed. Okay, so I have two now. And the point is that I can now like insert these where I need. We're gonna insert it to here because this object is in symmetry. So, oh, I need to activate it though. There you go. But I need to get like the proper depth to it and size. 96 feels good, but it looks fine. Maybe a little bit more. All right. And for the one on top, we're going to do the same thing. It's going to be hard to get the perfect center though. Let's just redo it without the symmetry activated. Doesn't look really offset, so that's good. And this IMM, I can reconstruct subdivision once I'm done placing it, so it's not like I'm stuck with, yeah. But that's something else. We can remove the blocking. It doesn't have any colors, but we can apply it pretty easily. Boom, there we go. I might change the color to so that I can have this be of the material on which it's connected to. Yeah, it makes more sense for here. Okay. So I'm probably going to focus on the thigh before going lower. Now the question is, do I do the butt part or the synthetic muscles? They're kind of like disconnected from each other. I think I'm going to do the butt mesh here. And I think I'm just going to start from the blocking actually to do this mesh, which I have not really been using that technique since the beginning. So we're just going to, first of all, turn off dynamic symmetry because we're not working with a dynamic mesh anymore. Weirdly positioned mesh, I should say. Okay, so we're going to want this portion. I guess we're going to do a delete symmetry here. Oops. Modify topology. Delete by symmetry. Perfect. Let's remove one more layer. Not layer, but edge. Let's remove the details. So we're just going to try to round it off so it's flat and clean. On the surface, I mean, the curve of the object, we're not going to we're going to remove symmetry. We're going to flatten the details here because I want to be able to compare with like the shape that I have at the beginning. So I'm going to slightly inflate the mesh I'm working on just to see it over the mesh correctly. Okay. We're going to continue to flatten this. It's going to flatten much better once we have a ZRemesh. So I think I'm going to go straight for going the ZRemesh part correctly. So we're going to kind of like push that in so we have a lot of this mesh. Okay, right. Well, inside here, we're going to need to... Oh, I cut too much of the mesh. Okay, we're going to need to reproduce. Okay, this is going to be enough volume. Actually, not enough here. Okay, that should be enough now. So we're gonna round the edges because it's a little bit jagged right now. With some weird stuff still, but I think the ZRemesh is gonna understand what we're trying to do. Oof, it's having a hard time. Okay, we're gonna need to help it more than that. Let's just check the chat real quick. So in my portfolio, I need to include the entire process for video game, retopo, bake, etc., but not necessarily formal work in a games company. Thanks for the answer. Yeah, as long as you show you need to know how to do the work. So, I joined in the booty modeling part right on time. Yeah, indeed. Gotta keep the buns protected. Indeed. So, yeah, it might be like the edge that's making the issue. So this is like more work, but what we can do also is like slice it so it doesn't have those like jagged edges. That should be better, but I'm still missing some mass. Now I have the mass, I just need to make sure it's going inside of the mesh correctly. All right. Good. Now this remesh should work. There we go, almost perfect. So it was the edges that was like messing up with its capacity to give like a clean mesh. Let's give back the material in poly paint. And now we can work on the shape. But it's already like, the shape is already correct. It's the one from the blocking, right? So we're just gonna need to smooth it out, basically. If I polish, I'm losing the border, how clean the borders are. So let's just like mask the borders. Use polish. actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a panel loop to this. And I'm going to keep just like the edge like that. Now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to show this edge and I'm going to do crease. Polish crisp edges. Just so that it rounds correctly, the silhouette of it. Maybe not that intense. There we go. And I'm going to subdivide it already because sometimes averaging at the shape when it's like this low in resolution might make the shape like melt, which I don't want. So I'm going to increase levels. It's not like we're going to see this edge. Okay, so it's like a somewhat like final resolution. And yep, now I can try to smooth at that level. Let's always keep the edge somewhat hidden. There we go. Okay. So that was just to like know that I'm working on a surface that's mostly clean, but it doesn't mean that it's like exactly the proper shape. The shape from the blocking was like almost final, but I just want to make sure it's good. I think at this point I'm gonna mirror and weld. Oh, it's actually not in the middle. I'm gonna need to. Okay, all right. Just have to make sure I have the correct. You see, if I compare to my previous mesh, it's pretty much all following exactly the way it was. So knowing that like I'm following exactly my blocking, I'm going to start removing this part of the blocking so that I can play with like the ins and out. It's like a strap here. You see now, like I can ask myself the question, is the strap going to be lower? Is the volume of the butt exactly the way that I want it? Or do I need, for example, to push things? Let's add a layer. Like to fit more like the line of the strap here. Here it feels like it's like drooping a little bit too much, so also for like round objects that have like basically like an object that's round is the way that I see it in my head. It's like it has shapes like everywhere and angles everywhere. So if you want to be able to not be like biased by the lighting and not see the shape correctly, it's a good thing to look at the shape upside down, I find. For complex shape, I don't find that it's helping that much, but for like shapes like spheres, um, like ellipses, it's good to look at your object from the top. Sometimes it can like help with like how you want to deal with that object. Like for example, like here, you see, now I'm just noticing how like unequal, sorry, that I am with the shape of like the cloth that's around it. My brain just didn't see it before because I'm just so used to like seeing the object like upside, right side up. It's kind of like when you do drawing and you flip your composition horizontally, just to kind of like refresh how your eye sees it. That's a trick painters use. All digital painters that can do like a flip on the y-axis. So you see like now this is like much cleaner. And from the the right perspective, also clean. So that's good. So same thing here. If I look upside down like that, like and when it's a sphere and stuff, you have to look at it like in every angles to make sure like the curve is exactly the way you want it. Plus, of course, like if we're talking about like a real sphere, like if you have not like changed the shape, you're not going to have to look at it in like all the examples because I mean all the angles, because it's not like a changing shape. But like the butt part here is not like a sphere or like an ellipse. Like this one is like a perfect ellipse, but this one has like it's changing. It's more like the shape of like a real butt. So it's not. It has like a place where it's like get more narrow, and like another place it gets more narrow, then it transitions with a curve, but it like sags on this part here. So there's like changes in the shape, and looking at your object, like I said, like this really helps. Plus, also, you see like how like dark the material is, and there's always like a very like sharp like shadow at the bottom of a sphere like that, and it really like doesn't help to see the shape for what it is. Anyways, there's like a pinch here. This I'm gonna get rid of. I'm just making sure the rest is okay. Feels like it is. Just gonna make a test. Do I need more mass like here? I'll bring that down. No, I think that's better. All right, so if I get rid of that the pinch here, I should be already done with the shape, because during the blocking it was already addressed correctly. If I look at it like in metal, it's really good to see like where you have pinches or lack of. Oops. All right. Just making sure that the line flows correctly, especially near like the pinched area. At this point, I'll try for the smooth relax. Hey, thanks for the sub. Much appreciated. The insectoid you made so far are all female rig. No, those two are. The three others are male. Well, I mean the mosquito is a bit like asexual, I would say, you know. Female anatomy. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I understood you meant. Fieldy Panda, hello, hello. Dracusis, hello to you too. The shadows in what the shot is what makes the ZBrush viewport so cool. Sometimes I prefer to look in viewport for a full render. Yeah, the shadow is good. It's just this part is like a bit too harsh sometimes for like spherical objects. It fucks me up a bit, so I need to, like I said, view it upside down so that the shadow is at the bottom. Anyways, especially for like what I'm about to do right there, I think I'm gonna keep it like this. All right, so now the smoothing. So we're just gonna isolate the edge here. And just smooth stronger and smooth relax. Just get the pinch to go away. So you see before and after, we got pretty much got rid of it. Maybe a little bit more. Well, here it's like bumping though. Oh, it was just the masking. Never mind. Just some normal smoothing. Okay, all right. Looks clean. So those are all the adjustments. So yeah, it's better like that. Cool, cool, cool. So we're gonna adjust the blocking under to fit the shape. Oh wait. Okay, that strap is like curving up at some point. Okay. I'm just gonna have to change like a small part of the just hide it for a sec. Okay, so the strap's gonna need to go up. Here you can have like a cloth part, kind of like holds the strap, and then from this side it goes down and reaches it again. Smartly sim. The strap is really following the butt shape. Okay. Good. So there's like the synthetic muscles, there's like the fascia on top, and then there's like this like cloth that goes over everything. That's the structure. That's the layers of everything. At the same level as the synthetic muscle, you have also like the paddings, like the gray paddings. So for the next part, first of all, let's save. Gabriella Tweeby, how old are you? I am 38 years old. How you decide what and where it should be more mechanical or more organic like? The design, the look of it will dictate that. It's not like it's not a decision that trumps the the design aspect of the character. But in like flexible areas, like let's say like around the shoulders or like around the hips here, I'll try to make sure that there's like bending material so that like if I want to do a pose, it kind of makes sense that it bends there. Making sure that the joints are placed somewhere where like if things like spin and turn, that it makes sense. That sort of stuff. Okay, we still have a bunch of meshes to do, but like for the thigh, I mean. Well, wait, no, there's there's actually just one. It's this mesh here. Yeah, we'll do this mesh, and the next will be the synthetic muscle placement. And we're gonna finish with the cloth on top, like I said, layers by layers. So this mesh is very organic. We're really like looking, I mean, like it has been like changed a lot from a primary shape, so we're going to do it by hand, fully by hand. Similar to how we did it with the knee, actually. I duplicated that mesh. Boy. Even if some part are under cloth, I'm gonna have to make sure it looks good under it so that I can just be like more accurate with the design, I guess. even going to add this little part here and just like push it in if needed. All right, so let's already ZRemesh this. Well, no, maybe I should clean it a little bit first. And by clean it, I mean just like have like a surface that is a bit more like even. All right, ZRemesh that. Well, actually, let's make the edges less jagged. Like I said, sometimes it helps. There we go. A little polish. Isolate the borders, mask, and polish. Topology is fine. It's a little bit weird right there, but let's try to do it with another pass. All right, so the more pass you do, the more you lose the shape on top, but that doesn't really bother me that much. I'm going to make a panel loop for this one. I'm most probably going to delete that thing after. Yeah, and let's make it much thicker than that. There we go. Just to have some play. There's like a floating mesh. Let's get rid of that. By the way, Gabriella, why did you ask how old I was? I'm going to delete the blocking on one side so it's not like bothering me. I keep it on the other side though. good. Like that. There we go. Meta dumpling. Hey man, how's it going? Good to see you here. Fancy seeing you here, Mr. Meta. Like says. Alright, so I got my blocking isolating the shape correctly. I can just like now straight up sculpt this piece correctly. And I'll want to have it like go a little bit deeper inside of like the cloth in some areas. So I can already start like pushing it a bit. For some parts, it's already going inside of the cloth, so that's good. So what I'll be doing now is kind of like defining what are the planes, and I'll use dam standard to isolate the edges correctly. I can even do it with H-polish. Like for example, like there's like a something round here, so of course I'll want to make sure that there's like an edge going around it. Not everywhere though, because the plate is actually going to finish. It's going all around this module. Remove the blocking for a sec, because it's kind of like hiding my view. So this is going to be an important edge. That's why I'm highlighting it with the dam standard like that. Then there's some softer edges too. I like the progress. This is amazing. Thank you so much, man. That's really appreciated. It's like I was saying, the leg is going to be kind of like a long process because it's like a lot of weaving of layers, but yeah, the workflow's the same. So one piece at a time. So, and now I can just decide. And by the way, like creating like a hard edge like this here doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to keep it like this sharp, right? I'm just trying to give myself an idea of where like the apexes of the curves are going to be. Let me see, I'm actually going to have you see, I already kind of like did it in the blocking. There's going to be like a curve here for the silhouette, so that I have to take care of. And making sure that even with the silhouette, everything that I want to be flat is kind of like flat already. So generally, like those are my planes for this mesh here. I'm going to actually lower the subdivision level because it doesn't need to be that high for the moment. I'm gonna make sure everything is flat and correct. Smooth things out even a little bit in some areas. Here it's kind of like just like a cutting of the mesh, and this just like goes in, so it's not even supposed to show this much. You'll basically like see some of the synthetic muscle or some like fascia holding the muscles right under here anyway. Let's reinforce the edge here. I'm actually going to use clip curve here to it's going to be rounding in that direction. Push things in like that. There we go. Da, da, da. All right. So we're gonna do kind of like the same thing for this mesh here, just making sure that like this edge that I created, this circle, this face, is following my like this modular thing. I can even like do the ultimate test and slash it like that with the clip. I was not really following it correctly, but now that it's flattened, I can move things around like that. Try to not lose the angle I just created. What I can also do is kind of like decide that there is a like a change of plane around here. So basically, let's use like the planar tool just to show kind of like what I'm going for. You would have like two planes then that cut like this. Well, the shape would be cut like that. This is how it gets down here like that. And you see like now, like it follows this circle correctly. So we know that it's like of like a correct shape in terms of like manufacturing. So now the only thing that like we need to make sure is that the in-betweens are also clean. So here, let's flatten things a bit. And this is going to be smoothed after, so it's gonna go back to being like all round and stuff very quickly. So H polish, let's use it reversed with the Alt button to make it pop out instead of like in. Well, I'm using a mix of both, to be honest. And it's like doing a lip on this face here, but it's okay. I can just get rid of it after. This can transition smoothly in like that. That's good. All right. So it's pretty much good. Okay, so now we're going to go higher in the so this edge, I don't want it to be a hard edge. So already I'm going to kind of like bevel it so that when I smooth, it becomes more quickly a round curve. All right. I'm going to add a layer here, just in case it doesn't smooth correctly, or if I want to use like a morph target to get some of the areas like back to the shape it is right now. Now if I smooth, not so, go. Smooth these corners as well. Smooth, smooth. Now repolish areas. Maybe with H polish actually. Here there's a lack of resolution in the mesh. So we're going to require absolutely another subdivision level to make it look not this pixelated. Okay, I'm going to collapse everything so I can do another. Oh, actually, you know what? We can get rid of the back part now, just to save a little bit on resolution. Well, poly count, let's say. Okay, so now I subdivided one step higher. And if there's still like a pinch or like because of especially because of those stars in the topology, I can just add like a detail here and it's going to hide it, so it's not a problem. We're gonna try to plan our things here to isolate like both shapes that creates this this part, like that like capsule shape, that circular shape. Okay, so I'm having a hard time with the planar tool. Just gonna play around, kind of like create a mid detail to help with the transition of those two pieces. I can even soften the transition here. Like I said, it was never meant to be a hard edge. All right, let's see it with the metallic material just to see if there's like anything that's like really not working for us. Okay. The general shape is good. I'll just do some polishing in some areas. Cut around this shape better for one. Our crack is going to help to do a clean cut as well. So in general, it's good. There's only one thing is I've kind of lost a bit too much of the curve that I wanted to keep. So we're almost there with that shape. Just gonna have one or two things I'm gonna try to enhance a little bit. We're gonna try to do it with the dam standard. It's going to be trying to get that. Okay, I think that's good. But I also have to push this. Yeah, this is not a simple mesh to get right after all. I'm gonna hide the mask, but I'm gonna keep the mask. Yeah, so like this cavity after all was in terms of design was something that like I wanted to keep. All right, we're pretty much done. There's a little thing I want to like pass of detail. I want to not pass of detail, sorry. Um, what am I trying to say? Passive cleaning, sorry. Slightly brushing with H polish. All right, there we go. So we'll be working on the refining the edges and the detail during another step. But for the moment, that's good. Cool. Let's save. Just give me a sec. All right. All right. Okay, so it's saved. Let's expose the full character once again. Boom. This is where we're heading. Slowly but surely. So yeah, the of course we have our finished product. The head, the body. This is the level of detail we're gonna go for. The level of cleanliness. And yeah. So that was another stream for the leg. I think the last stream was the first one. So in 2 streams, each of 2 hours, yeah, like 4 hours, we've been able to adjust the silhouette of the leg, do the fundamental parts of the leg. Next time we're going to be able to tackle the synthetic muscles. Probably like we'll do the one for the tibia as well. Fascia, synthetic muscles and fascia, probably placing also like the straps once that we're going to be done with that. And the stream after, we're probably going to be able to take care of the clothing parts on top. So maybe placing a few IMMs that I forgot to place. And then there's just going to be the detailing done. So technically, just to give you like an idea of like the timing, in 8 hours, we're gonna be able to have gone from the blocking of a leg to pretty much all the fundamental parts and meshes placed, and we're just going to be left with the detailing. Sorry, not of the entire leg, but mostly the thigh. So for that section of the thigh here, in like, let's say 1 day's work, all the fundamentals, name shapes correction done. Then in another day of work, another 8 hours, placing the detailing on these parts. So like just gonna give you like an idea of like timing, like what I'm aiming for at least. Yep. So there you go. Another one in the bag. Charlie Harris, looking awesome. Marco, thank you so much. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be the end of the stream. Thanks for coming once more. Next week we're going to tackle the synthetic muscles, like I said, around the same time, Tuesday, around the same 9 a.m. Montreal time. So thanks everyone for coming. Let's do a little raid. A little raid's always good. And yeah, so I hope everybody's had fun, and let's have more fun next week. Ciao, everyone.